Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. It is a Sunday morning, and Zuma will be making the most anticipated interview with Newsroom Africa around 4 p.m. today. We are looking to hear what Zuma is going to be saying because just yesterday there was an interview where Zuma is speaking about the fact that there is a lot of censorship regarding himself and MK Party. He says he has done an interview with the ANC and also with the eNCA, and the editors refused to publish that video. They refused to publish that interview where Jacob Zuma is speaking about a whole lot of things and probably exposing some of the leaders of the ANC. As you know, it is a very complex issue between the ANC and the MK Party. We are going to the election in around 3 days. Jacob Zuma wants to be heard before the people go and vote. And it seems like whatever message he has said on those videos was so intense that the publication needed to speak to the ANC probably to say that Zuma is saying 1, 2, 3 about you. Should we go on and publish whatever he's saying? So one would think that they rejected that and said, you must censor this message because it's incorrect. And that's when Zuma couldn't get his word heard. But it looks like the Newsroom Africa is the only credible media in South Africa who's willing to say that let the people hear what Jacob Zuma is saying. Please listen to this.
I thought it was necessary for me to talk to you today about some developments which I believe are painting a very serious picture to the behavior of our country's important broadcasting machines that we have in our country. I had an interview with the SABC on the 22nd, just 2 days ago, wherein they were seeking to have the views from me as a leader of the new party that has come in the country, Mkhonto weSizwe. I had to express myself in what I know as a democratic country, where there is a freedom of speech. And unfortunately, I've just heard that the SABC blocked that meeting we had with their publishers. This is something out of this world because South Africa is a democratic country, freedom of speech, everything. But they have decided they cannot broadcast what Jacob Zuma has said. And I think I'm the only one so far that is being blocked by big broadcasting stations. I don't understand what is happening. I last heard this during the days, very hard days of apartheid, where many people were not allowed to speak. They were actually burned, not to say anything, not their views politically in particular. This is surprising. Where is South Africa going? What is happening to our country? Why there are individuals whose views are not allowed to be known by the country, whilst others speak at any given time, whatever they want. This is shocking. This is in keeping with the behavior of our legal experts in the manner in which they do make decisions that are very surprising. And as I have been speaking in few days with few stations, I realized that there is an uncomfortable feeling among other people. Why? Why shouldn't I express my views? Why shouldn't I tell the truth that I know? There is something shocking that South Africa is pulling back to apartheid methods and behavior. The whole SABC says Zuma must not be heard in South Africa. Where must I be heard? This is my country. I belong here. This is surprising. But it is even more shocking that not only the SABC, but the eNCA has done exactly the same on the interview I heard at eNCA yesterday, which was the 23rd. Again, they blocked what I had given to the colleagues who were talking to me and asking me questions. Are we going back to apartheid?
Now, from what we heard, it seems like he will not hold anything back when he speaks at around 4 p.m. He has already done the interview, it's done. We're just waiting for it to be published. I wouldn't be surprised if we wait so long and next thing they say that that interview is no longer being published. But I think for Jacob Zuma, if he wants to get his message heard and the people are not allowing him, these publications are not allowing him, what he needs to do is to speak using the social media. It is going to spread everywhere and people are going to listen, because these days it's not like before where we rely on TV in order to get the news. You publish it on all social medias, people are going to hear the word that is said by Jacob Zuma. Is it something that the ANC doesn't want to go out in public? We remain to see that, because this is really worrying. The fact that it is a political party, the MK party, they have won all their battles, but Jacob Zuma still cannot be heard. He still cannot get his message around. It's supposed to be a fair election. Everyone is supposed to go there and say that I've run my race, I've received fair media coverage, and I believe that even if I lose, it will be because I didn't get enough vote from the people. I didn't reach out more. But it cannot be that once you need to speak to the people through a media, which we know that they are getting paid, they are making money through this, and then they are going to reject you and say that they are not going to publish that interview. But to them, their leaders, whoever is controlling them, is more important than the sales they will be making from these elections. Imagine the interview of Zuma, the most anticipated interview. A lot of people will be tuning in. But fortunately, Newsroom Africa has taken advantage of that, and they are going to let us hear what Zuma is saying. And we'll be opening our ears, making sure that we want to hear. Remember, all along we've been hearing about Zuma. Fikile Mbalula, the ANC leaders, everybody has been saying a lot. But the only person who has never said anything about the ANC people is Jacob Zuma. If he says a lot today, we would appreciate hearing from him, because we cannot have one-sided view. We've had the view of the ANC. It's time for him to speak. And it's very interesting because he speaks just 3 days before people go out and vote. The ANC is not going to be happy. That is why one could sit around and think that who really commissioned the word to say that do not publish, do not run around with this story. Because whoever said that, they run these medias. They have the power over these medias. And well, let us wait and find out what Zuma will be saying around 4 p.m. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into the channel. And until next time. Cheers.